So now we'll turn to Flynn and Sol.
Hi everyone, I'm Sol. Can you hear me? Okay, I use they, them pronouns. I am from Seattle, Washington, so from the area. I'm hoping to major in environmental studies with minors in honors and STEAM, which is a really cool minor that not a lot of people know about. I'm a first year student. I work out a lot, so if you have questions about the gym, the rec center, I can answer some of those. I love to attend on-campus activities such as movie nights, comedy, stand-up nights, really awesome events such as Punkapalooza, which was a concert and drag show that we had on campus this month. If you have questions about on-campus events, I love going to them, so ask me some questions if you'd like. Yeah, and I live in Edens Hall with this amazing person.
Hi everyone, my name is Flynn. I use he, they pronouns. I'm sorry for the loudness. We are in a very open space right now, which we will give you a tour of momentarily. I am from Portland-ish, Oregon, so not terribly far from here, but a good 6-hour jaunt. I am planning on majoring in elementary education and Spanish, as well as a minor in honors, of course. And I am also a first-year student. I am not involved in many clubs necessarily, but I started a club on campus, so if people have questions about that process, there are a whole bunch of clubs. I think over like 250, 400. That number is something that escapes me every time, but there are a bunch, and it's really easy to get started if you don't find one that fits your interests. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's it for our introductions. We can start with the tour now. Awesome. So the room that we are currently in, I'm going to flip the camera around so it's easier to see. This is the Edens North Lounge. I don't know, so if you have comments.
Yeah, so this is the lounge that connects Edens Hall and Edens North. And this is the way that you access the kitchen, the laundry room, and it's a really awesome gathering space. We got pool tables, we got ping pong tables, we got lots of seating area. We have a piano, beautiful view of Stevenson, and with Mathis and Nash down there, those brick buildings. Yeah, so.
Hey, Sol.
Yeah.
When you flipped the camera, it got hard to hear.
Yes, it's because we're sharing. We're doing two different headphones in each of our ears.
And I think the mic is in mine, so I just have to stand close to Sol so that you can hear them.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand.
Go over some of those details again if you'd like to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the Edens North Lounge. It connects Edens Hall and Edens North. It's a really and connects to the communal kitchens as well as access to the laundry rooms. We have pool tables, ping pong tables, beautiful view, lots of space for gatherings. You do some campus living events in here. And then this is the communal kitchen that is shared by Edens North and Edens. It's pretty large. We got a refrigerator that everyone can use as long as you don't forget about your food. Stove, oven, different cooking appliances, and this is cleaned. You do want to, obviously, we want to keep it clean, but it's cleaned by cleaning staff as well. Yeah, so anyone can use this if you do want to cook your own food outside of like meal plan food. And I'll slowly show you the laundry room, which is in Edens North. And this is the laundry room that's shared by Edens and Edens North. And going down
laundry is entirely paid for by your tuition, which is really nice. I know that's not always the case. We won't spend a lot of time in here because it's loud, but here is the laundry room. It's not very big, but
5 washers and 8 dryers. And there is an app called CSGO that allows you to see when there's washers and dryers open. So you don't have to check. You can just, you don't have to go down and check. You can look at the app on your phone and be like, okay, there's washers and dryers open. I'm going to go start my laundry. It's very handy. It also gives you timers on when your laundry will be done. Yeah, so that's kind of these communal spaces down here. And this is the second floor, connecting the second floor of Eden's to the second floor of Eden's North. And so we're gonna go up and show you some lounges and then go show you our room, main event. We're gonna probably hit a little bit of a iffy connection here in the hallway, but it should resume as we get down this hallway, so bear with us.
As we continue to walk and hit a slight blip, if there is a blip at all.
So coming up on the second floor, Eden's Lounge. So this is the biggest lounge in Eden's, lots of couches, plenty of space for movie nights, study times. And then over here is this awesome greenhouse space, which looks out on the courtyard of Eden's. So you can study in here, lovely natural light, and you can also access that courtyard and go out there and hang out, read a book, enjoy the outdoors, and then it backs up right against Seaholm Hill Arboretum. So tons of trees, beautiful view. Yeah, so that's the second floor lounge.
And then we are going to bring you up in an elevator. The last time it didn't glitch, so we're hoping, crossing our fingers that it doesn't. But if it does, we apologize. It's a relatively short ride up. But yeah, if you want to touch on like how we met.
Yeah, so I'll talk about how we met and how we became roommates, because I really like the story. So we met met our suite mates through Roommate Manager, which is the Western way to find roommates if you're a first year student. It's really handy. You create a profile, and then you can, with different criteria and things that you need as a person living with someone, and then you find people who are matches to you. It'll give you a percentage match on your needs and your living style. And so I reached out to Flynn, as well as one of my suite mates separately, and said, hey, you both are really cool. Do you have a roommate group? You can make a group, and then that's how you sign up for housing. And they both happen to be in the same group. So I thought, this is meant to be. Do you have space in your group? And they did. So I got in the group, and turns out that I love Flynn so much, and we're actually really good friends. And we have a good flow with our suite mates as well. So that's a really valuable way to find people to live with, and just say it worked for us really well.
We're pausing here because I'm really proud of our door, and wanted to show you all what that looks like. In Eden's and Eden's North specifically, you can decorate your door however you would like. So here is our lovely door. It started with just our introductions posted, and then we've kind of grown it since then. But yeah, we'll give you a tour of the inside, which is what you are probably all here to see. Yeah, so when you walk in, this is my desk. They're relatively standard desk. There's space under there, and then they all have drawers and stuff. And then there's bookshelf storage space there. My bed is right here, and they are lofted already, and so currently we have our dressers under there, which have three, so it's going to be wonderful and show us 3 drawers that you can put stuff in. Those are given to us by the school, and there is storage space under there as well that I know I use for a lot of different things. But yeah, so this is my side of the room, and then we're gonna shift over to Souls. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so this is my desk, same desk. And you can also reorganize the furniture how you like. So we have it set up in this kind of U shape to make a lot of cooler space. About the Eden's North rooms, they are spacious. Everyone who's come in here who lives in a different dorm says, wow, I wish I lived in this in this dorm because you have so much space. So we have an awesome amount of room to have dance parties, to do yoga, whatever you want to do a workout. And yeah, I really appreciate that space. yeah, so here's my desk and my setup, my bed. I put it in this little nook. It's very cozy. We have one window that goes to look out at Seaholm Hill. Really awesome view. When the sun comes in, it's amazing. We get it lit up so well. You can watch the people walk by on the trail. And then, so I have this rack in here, which there is space to bring in other things, which is awesome. Obviously, this isn't provided by the school. I brought this because I have a very large closet, so I needed more space. And then, aside from the space that I created, we have a really good sized closet, actually. So it's split. The side on the left is Flynn's and mine is on the right. So we have shelving, we have a bar for hanging clothes, space at the bottom for another small dresser or hamper. And then up at the top, we have really awesome storage, tons of space. I have storage bins up there that I don't use regularly, or a suitcase. If you need extra space, there's tons. And then over by the door here, we have our little fridge and microwave. And I will talk a little bit about, and Flynn will talk a little bit about how we got these, because Western actually has a appliance reusal program. And Flynn, if you want to touch on that, because you were the one who kind of illustrated it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to actually sit down, and if you want to pull up a chair as well as I mess my chair up. Yeah, so I was the one that filled out the application for it. It's really nice to be able to rent those, because I know that that's an expense that some people can't afford, or you're out of state like I am and don't want to or know how to manage bringing up a mini fridge and a microwave. So it's a really cool program through the school that you receive communication about. I signed up relatively early to get a microwave and a fridge, so got really lucky in that we were able to obtain those objects. I believe that they give priority for out-of-state students because it's something that we specifically struggle with it being car or plane. That's not something that you can very easily transport. But yeah, so I would definitely keep an eye out on your email and sign up for those as soon as you can, because they're a really awesome free appliance. They work relatively well. I mean, it heats stuff up, it cools stuff. And most importantly, we didn't have to pay for it, and is really nice. And we'll give it back to them at the end of the year, which means that we don't have to figure out how to transport it back to either of our homes, which is also something that is really nice.
One thing with the waste management systems on campus, I don't know if this is a big question, but we have recycling, trash, and compost services on campus, which is really awesome. I think that's way more than a lot of places can say. So we are given a recycling bin, a trash can, and a compost bin, and we are given free bags for those as well. And the trash disposal is right outside of Eden's, and we're asked to sort our recycling. But it's very simple. It's all labeled. You just put the thing in the bins.
You can make it a fun game. You can like toss things in there and like make a point system out of it. I know sometimes you really don't want to have to sort it, but if you make it a fun game, it's a lot more interesting. And make it a fun competition between the two of you.
And it's really simple. And it keeps everything nice and tidy, and limits our waste. One thing, we'll show you the bathroom in a second, because we are in suite style rooms. So our room is connected to our suite mate's room by a bathroom, which all four of us share. So it's only four of us in a bathroom, which works out very well. I think some people get a little worried about that, like, oh, how will I find time to shower? Or with us, it really just fell into place. We also get it cleaned about twice a quarter.
Yeah, I think it's once a month for the most part. We have found that, except for breaks and stuff like that, we have found that we wanted to clean it more often than that. So we've set up a system where two roommates tag team it. So we end up cleaning it about once a month on our end. And it's relatively easy. I would definitely recommend tag teaming the bathroom because it becomes really easy to do it that way. And then it's a lot less effort. We do get provided toilet paper. I will say the toilet paper is not great, but again, it is free. And so you don't necessarily have to, and if you run out, you can go downstairs to the front desk and check some out, as well as for the pool tables and all of that kind of stuff. You can rent games from the downstairs desk.
The Eden's desk is awesome. That's where you pick up your packages. There's mailboxes down there. So we're on the 4th floor right in front of the elevator. So it's super simple. We just step out of the door, go down in the elevator, and the desk is right there. You can get your packages. You can check out like cooking and baking equipment, like pans and cupcake tins and bowls and whisks. You can check out games, balls for the pool table, the ping pong table, board games, vacuums. That's one thing that I was really excited about. You don't have to bring a full-size vacuum. We have a small hand one for little messes, but you can go and check out a vacuum just with your student ID and use it and then bring it back. Trying to think of other things. Yeah, toilet paper, trash bags, compost bags. It's a really awesome resource. Yeah, I think we'll show you the bathroom now.
I will try and make it slow so that we're not giving anyone issues.
So here's the bathroom. It is great. It's exactly the size that we need for 4 people. So there's one sink, tons of counter space. We have our dishes drying. I have my jewelry here. There's a ton of under the counter space for storage. And then behind the door in here is our shower. So we have a small shower, and we have bought these little shelves to put our toiletries. We also bought this shower curtain. It comes with a shower curtain, but we wanted a different one, so we got a new one. It's a great size for one person. The water pressure is awesome, I will say. Yeah, tons of space to hang towels, shower caddies. And then we have a single stall toilet room, which locks. Obviously, it's really great. And yeah, just simple toilet. I
think that's kind of our tour.
All of it, yeah. Oh, I could also talk a little bit about maintenance requests.
We're gonna slowly turn the camera back around. Awesome. And so I was going to touch a little bit on maintenance requests and how to file those. It's a really easy way if like your sink stops working or other things that just don't end up. Our light didn't work when we first got here, which we didn't realize until we had gone to other people's rooms and we're like, oh, it's brighter in here. Like that light should function.
Yeah. So there's a really simple way to file a maintenance request. You can just look up, I'm not sure the official channels to go through on the Western website, but I just look up www maintenance request, and it'll pull up a link. And it's really simple. You go through a little form, you click what's the major problem, put in your room number, your W number, which is your like student ID number, and kind of more specifics about it. And you send it in and they will come in and knock on your door. The maintenance requests that I have filed mostly happen when I'm not in the room, which is great. So they'll knock, and then if you don't get an answer, they'll come in because they have a key and fix whatever you said needs fixing. It's super simple. Our drain got a little clogged. So even stuff like that, like we did a maintenance request and they came and fixed the drain, or with the light, that's kind of a bigger issue. So anything that you think needs to be fixed, you can do a maintenance request and it's really easy. Yeah, I'm trying to think about anything else. You want to check
I can kind of touch upon why I chose Western and kind of why we chose this dorm why I chose this dorm in particular. So I only applied to 2 schools. So between the 2, it wasn't that big of a decision for me because I've come to Western or had toured Western 3 times and immediately fell in love with the campus and Bellingham itself, as well as Fairhaven. We have two towns that are relatively accessible by bus. One is Fairhaven, which is kind of a more like historical district and has a bunch of like really cool shops, which is awesome. There's a really good poke place downtown. And then there's Bellingham, which is more of I don't know exactly.
Yeah, like downtown Bellingham, that's where it's the main drag, main street, a ton of restaurants, a lot of places to go see. One thing I will say is that I love Bellingham because I'm from a really big city and it's small enough to kind of give you that small town vibe a little bit, but large enough that there's always something to do. There's a lot of great things to see, good restaurants to try out. So I love that kind of small city vibe. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, no.
Have either of you done the Pickford Film Center tickets? So
We have not.
okay, because honors college students get free tickets to the Pickford Film Center, which is our independent film center in town, and we've been giving away a lot of tickets lately. So there must be some good films playing.
As I say, yeah, I have some friends who have definitely taken advantage of that. I have unfortunately not yet, but plan to in the near future for sure, which is a really cool opportunity to go see some free films. And it's right downtown, very easily accessible by bus, which is really cool. In terms of why I chose Eden's in particular, I'm gonna be entirely honest. I chose it because it has pillars and is a really cool like building on the outside. Like it's very aesthetically pleasing. And I was like, what are the chances I'm going to live in a building with pillars ever again? But no, besides the joking part, which is less of a joke than you might actually hope it was, I just really like the opportunity to bond with other honor students. We've had weekly or bi-weekly movie nights in the fourth floor lounge right across the way from our dorm, which has been a really awesome way to bond. We've watched Shrek, we've watched Ratatouille. We've watched Megamind. There have just been a bunch of just fun movie nights. And there's also normally around like 5 or 6ish every night. There's a group who watches Doctor Who relatively frequently. So there's always stuff happening in the lounges. And you can always stop in and be like, hey, can I watch whatever you're watching? And most of the time they say yes, which is really awesome. It's also been really cool to just like live next to like 100 of your friends. Like I just walk down the hall and I'm like, I know that person, and you can kind of just like knock on their door and be like, hey, what you doing? Which has been really awesome.
Yeah.
We live right down the one of our best friends lives in Eden's North, which is also really cool. And that we just take an elevator down and then an elevator up, and then we're right at their room, which has been really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason I chose Western and honors and Eden's, so I applied to I think about 6 schools, so it was kind of a lot, but Western was the only school that I toured, and the second the tour was done, I was like, this is where I want to go. If you come here and see the campus, if you enjoy green spaces, fresh air, beautiful views, like it's a gorgeous campus, and that was one of the things that really drew me in. And just to hear about all of the programs that really fit my interests, and honor specifically, I am a very interdisciplinary learner. I am a very discussion-based learner, and hearing that was what honors offered was like exactly what I wanted. And choosing Eden's, I knew I didn't want to do a hall style room. Being a non-binary person, the floors are gendered, and I feel like it would feel a little weird, and I also don't necessarily want to share a bathroom with a bunch of people. So knowing that Eden's was a suite style, and then also I would get that community feel that Flynn was talking about. Again, it's amazing to live by all your friends. Like it literally just walk down the hallway, and like Flynn said about there's always something going on in the main lounges or on the floor lounges. You can make a movie night, you can make a game night, and just pop in and say hi to people. And so that's kind of what made me think about moving into Eden's. And I don't know if I actually did any sort of virtual tour or saw Eden's before I moved in.
I'd seen the outside of it, but had never actually
Yeah.
been inside until literally move in.
And getting here and moving in, I was like, wow, these rooms are amazing. There's high ceilings, there's lots of space, natural light, and it was like, it felt exactly right. Yeah. Oh, meal plans. We both have unlimited meal plans. So the meal plan system on Western is tiered, and based on how much you eat, based on how much you want to pay for food, if you want to cook some of your own meals, there's different levels. So I believe it starts at 125.
No, that's the highest.
Oh, really?
I think it starts at 80. We're not 100% sure. I think it's 80, 100, and then 125. Again, logistics don't necessarily matter. And then it goes to unlimited. I started out the quarter with 125 and then realized that that wasn't something that was beneficial for me. I'm someone who doesn't necessarily have the energy or motivation to cook all the time. So unlimited kind of just felt like the right choice at that time, and is a decision that I've stuck with for the rest of the year. The food on campus is paid for through your meal plan. You also get 100, 200 dining dollars, which there are places on campus to eat. So there is a Subway, there is a Panda Express, there's a place called Freshens, which is really good. I think people have described it to me like a Chipotle, and Jamba Juice had a baby, and that is what was created, which I would say is actually relatively accurate. And there are a bunch of also just like pop in places that have like salad markets, thank you, that have salads, drinks, sandwiches, soups, that kind of thing. And you can use dining dollars to pay for that, or you can also use your own money as well if you run out.
And the meal system on campus is great. On weekdays, there's pretty much food served all day long. So there's a breakfast time, and then immediately it goes to lunch, and then after lunch it's light lunch, which is just like burgers, fries, soup, sandwiches, salad, etc. And then at 5 it starts dinner, and then there's a little break after dinner, and then on weekdays except for Fridays there's late night. So there is like food pretty much all the time. Weekends it's a little more spotty, but that's because people want to take breaks and not work all weekend. Yeah, I think that's all our things.
This is so wonderful. You know, this was an experiment. We've never tried this before. And I will tell you, you two have done a great job of representing what it's like there and why you're doing it. And thank you so much for taking a half an hour out of your Saturday morning to join us.